Good morning, everyone. How's everyone this morning? I'm still getting things set up. This is what? Friday, right?
Yeah. Let's make it a beautiful day.
Yes, it is. It's Friday, and we are anticipating Trump's interview with Dan Bongino. I got things set up, as you can see right here, and let me make it big there, and they should be starting here any time now. They said they're starting at 9:30. Trump's been a busy boy this morning already. He was on Fox and Friends this morning, and now he had to head wherever they're holding this. I'm not sure where they're holding this interview today, but he was heading right over there to wherever Dan Bongino's setting up and get ready for that too. So he's been a busy person trying to get things set up. I didn't get to finish all the setting up that I wanted to do. I lost track of time this morning. I was setting up for tonight's show, which is mainly about, hey, good morning, Joan. How are you? Kamala Harris's disastrous interview with Fox News. Nobody's letting go. And guess what? We're not going to either. Oh, yeah, we've got some more on that take on this. And I want you guys' input on everything that's going on. And usually I hold my morning show at 8 o'clock. But since this was going on this morning, I said I've decided to wait and hold off for this interview. So Trump's doing a lot today, and I watched part of his interview on Fox News while I was setting up all my stuff for tonight. I got a ton of stuff for you guys tonight. I got like 20 videos. Like the first 4 or 5 are hilarious, and then we'll get into the serious stuff. But I want to remind you guys to tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This episode's going to be great, and it's a Friday. Come join us Friday. Let us know what you guys are thinking about what's going on. So we'll enjoy the Friday. Hey, Jeff. Good morning, man. We'll enjoy some laughs and some more laughs when we look at Kamala Harris. That face just makes you laugh. Oh, man, does it. So we're going to sit here and we're going to watch. And, of course, he's running behind a little bit, it looks like, that because it's supposed to start at 9:30. And he said he was going to start at 9:30 and just start talking and stuff. And then when Trump shows up, they'll start running the interview. Well, they're already running behind now, as we see, because it would really start, and it does a countdown, 30-second countdown before all of us show. Hey, Tammy. And Sean Lively for U.S. Senate. There you go. So we'll see what's going to happen here shortly and see if they're going to start here on time. Just stop by to say hi between drills at the range. Oh, yeah. I wish I was at the range too, Sean. Guys, if you're a carrier, a concealed carrier, make sure you keep training with it. I have to. I haven't trained in months, and I have to make sure I keep up with it. You got to make sure. But the first golden rule is do not put your finger on that trigger until you're ready to shoot, and never point your weapon at anyone that you don't plan on shooting. William, good morning, William. Like I said, we're still waiting here for Dan Bongino to start running. And we'll have to see what he has to say. We are writing his name in instead of Corin. There you go. All right. Got to make sure Sean wins down in Texas. So thank you for stopping by, Sean. Have fun at the range today. All right, let me see what's got here. This here, what this is here. Oh, gotta shut that off there. Got a lot. Hey, Daniel, good morning. Got a lot of stuff for you guys tonight on the show, and you guys aren't going to want to miss it. Tons of funny videos, I'm telling you what. And we're going to go over stuff. Shoot, I got to cover it up right now. Whoops. What the hell? There we go. All right. Got a ton of stuff. First, I'm going to start off with South Korea and North Korea. That doesn't look like a pretty picture. Then we got all about, I think the next four or something like this. Yeah, about the video, the interview that is driving people nuts. They can't stop talking about it. It's unreal. And we've got more of that. Yeah, Daniel, I like Dan Bongino. I can't wait to hear the interview because, like I said last night, him and Trump are friends. So I don't think there's any questions that are off the table with that, with him anyway. So I can't wait till it gets going here because it resets itself every like 30 seconds or something. So can't wait till it gets started. But we got a lot on the disastrous interview with Bret Baier, and people was not letting it go. Neither will we. It's good because he just exposed the truth behind Kamala Harris, and that's what we're going to get into. And we got into a few lawsuits here. What else we got here? Oh, we got into the gang again, the Tren de Aragua, committing havoc all over the place because of none other than Kamala Harris. Oh, yeah. We got into that. We're going to get into a new poll from Fox News. We're also going to see that Democrats are seeing warning signs. It's not pretty for them. Bongino has some great inside sources still. And that's what makes it so good because he's got the information. And that is what I like about Dan Bongino because he's got good sources. So the liberals can't sit there and say, well, they're all fake. No, they're not actually. So hopefully he comes on here shortly. He said he was starting at 9:30, and you saw it on the sign for yourself right there. All right, what else we got? Oh, yeah, Biden administration is being sued again. This one's a good one, so you guys will want to tune in for that tonight. Momentum shifts against Kamala Harris in favor of Donald Trump. We're going to have that. Then we got the dumb bitch judge on Trump's January 6th case starting her bullshit again. So we're going to tune in for that too tonight. And we got some information on the panel probing Trump's shootings. Yep, we got that. And what else? Why does that do that? Man. There we go. What else we got? Oh, young voters. And oh, yeah, we got that. We got Kamala Harris calling people stupid. And she wants to sit there and blame Trump on that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, we got a ton of stuff for tonight, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. So hopefully we can get this interview going. And usually Dan Bongino starts his show and then rides with it. That's what he said he was going to do yesterday. So hopefully it begins here soon. So we've got time to get people in, draw them in, tell them, come on, guys, get in here and enjoy this interview. Like I said, Trump was on Fox and Friends this morning doing an interview on there. I watched for a little bit while I was setting up. Hey, there's Lee. Good morning, Lee. All right, cool. Thanks, Lee. But come on, get your friends, get everybody in here. And get them to stay tuned with us. Make sure you guys comment in chat while they're talking. Let us know what you think of the interview. Of course, if we get any liberals in here, bring your comments. Come on, guys. We're open to everybody, but don't think that you're not going to get fact checked. Oh, yeah. you will get fact checked by us. If not me, by the Wimpkin Warriors. You guys got to bring it. Of course, they're afraid to come in here because they know they're wrong. They know they are losing. You can't fact check lies like that she puts out. And she puts out lies every single time she talks. She made some stupid videos with a Saturday Night Live skit. And this was an old Saturday Night Live skit. I didn't even know they still had it because I remember her doing this skit. That little Catholic girl. Oh, yeah. I didn't download that one. I think it was stupid. But I don't know why they would even have her do something like that. So that Saturday Night Live has lost every ounce of respect that they ever had because of the stuff they've been doing. And it's just gotten more dumb than I've ever seen. So we're still waiting here for Dan Bongino to go live. And I went over everything that we're going to do tonight. Oh, my goodness. And it's 9:30, and I'm tired. I didn't have a good night's sleep last night. Unreal, right? And yep. So make sure you guys get all your friends to come in, your friends, your family, even your liberal idiot buddies. Get them to come in. We like them. We like their stupidity. And we're going to wait to see what's going on here. Either Trump already showed up and he's just going to start off with Trump, or I don't know. We're going to see what happens here. Let me reduce this down here and see what's... People are still on here talking. Oh, go away. Let's refresh this page. Nope, it's still not going yet. What are they saying? Their chat moves so fast. What has he got? He's got 128,000, almost 129,000 people on here already. And it's flying up. Look at that. But remember, man, because last time that he did something like this, it broke Rumble. And they weren't able to do the show. So hopefully it does not break again. He wants to try to break a record, which it should break a record because normally he has, I don't know, about 170,000 people watching every day at 11 o'clock when he goes on. And it doesn't break it. Hey, America Pier, what's going on, our Scandinavian friend? He's over 131,000 now, so we're going to keep watching this until he goes live, of course. That's what we're all here for, right? We're here to see what Trump has to say. And I'll pretty much probably not go to Latrobe this weekend in Pennsylvania because we covered this and we covered his one the other day. And that's such a small place. I don't know how many people they're going to try to cram into that airport. It's a small airport. I don't know where they're going to have it. I did get my guest information again today in my email. And it's the same information you get every time you sign up to get in, but they don't even use that anymore. You're just in a general admission line. So I don't know. I mean, I can understand the guest information telling you what you can and cannot bring. And I think it just said again, you can't bring your tripod, which that doesn't help any. I can't sit there and have fun and put my mic on and just walk around with people and get people to come in if I don't have my tripod to set my phone up on. So probably not going to go after this and after the other one we did the other day. I'm probably not going to go. So we'll see what happens here. Kimberly. I don't see a Kimberly, but hi, Kimberly. If you're in there, come in and say hi. I can't see people that just enter in to the show. I can only see what you guys are telling me. I can see some like 24 people or so in Twitter. I see. I can't see Getter. I can't see how many's there. I can see Rumble has about 20 right now. And of course, they're all going to Dan's site, which I wouldn't blame them. Renee. Hi, Renee. Now, if you're in here, come on, guys, say hi on Getter. Guys, just come in and say hi on Twitter. You guys can say hi too. Let me know you guys are in here because I can't see anybody's names, especially on Getter. They don't show how many people or anything until I go out of here. After we're done, I already got everything set up for tonight's show. I got the ad and everything that I'll be putting off right after this show is done. Up, here we go. We got 25 seconds here. We're going to see if they're going to start off. He's just going to be talking or what. So I'm going to reduce myself down here a little bit and let you guys enjoy what Dan has to say. So we'll see what's going on here. But we'll talk a little bit after this, and then I'm going to get off here and put my ad up for tonight's show. So let's take a listen.
Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
Welcome to the Dan Bongino Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the waiting room is so packed right now in this live stream. I think we may be the largest live stream in the world right now. And the interview hasn't even started yet, and it's not even at a regular time. Thank you, everyone. I'm really appreciative that you all got here early. I know we usually go 11 a.m. Eastern every day, but we're just waiting on President Trump. He'll be here any minute. I want to start a little bit early so we get everybody in. So when he comes in, you can catch him walking in. We've got a bunch of questions. I took a lot of them from you in the audience. Here they are right there. If you want a sneak peek, some of you, if you can pause the screen or screenshot, you'll see that. And obviously, we're going to ask some questions about the Secret Service, things that are really personal and intimate to my heart. I'm very concerned about his safety. Questions as well. I want to make sure you know the President Trump I know. A really, really good, decent guy who's portrayed by the media as some kind of Skeletor-like He-Man villain. And that's not the guy I know. So we're going to do a kind of an untraditional interview. I hope you all are cool with that. I took some of your question recommendations from you, my staff, and everyone around. We got some good stuff. I just got some administrative stuff to handle in the beginning. The sponsors keep the show free. I really appreciate your patience. Thank you all for hanging. President Trump will be here any minute. He's leaving now. We're in New York. It's my hometown. I was born here. I'd love to tell you it looks a lot different than when I left. It doesn't, outside of Louis Vuitton doing a nice little building in the background. You got Central Park over the shoulder. What a great view. Oh, what happened?
I don't know why he froze. We're going to wait for that to start back up again and see if he... They always have some when they do this mobile show like this. They have some glitches in there, so we'll see what happens. See if his whole thing froze. Nope, they're still running, so he's just froze there. Yep, they're saying that he froze. Frozen. All the chat's showing he's frozen. They'll get it fixed. 152,000 people in climbing, buddy. People, you see that? Isn't that crazy? They'll get it fixed here, but yeah, something always breaks when they do this stuff. Oh, I know. Dan never wears a suit. He always wears a T-shirt. So yeah, but I'm sure they'll get this fixed here. Technical difficulties, stand by. Well, we knew that one. Let's reach the back up here. They'll get it. They'll get it here real soon. And we'll continue to watch. Get people in here. People draw all your friends in. Get them in here to join us on this interview. It's going to be great. It's going to be spectacular once they get this going here. And there's always a little glitches here and there. Government interference. Oh yeah, William. That's what they did. That one. What were we watching? The debate. Oh yeah. And they got. Well, Wimpkin got hacked at one time. They got that DDS attack, and the one that they put on here also got hit. Rumble got hit. I mean, this happens every time because they don't want the truth out. We know that. And they're so pathetic because they know the desperation of the Democrats right now is through the roof. They will do anything and everything they can to keep us quiet. Oh, NBC hit my show last night for a copyright infringement. Oh yeah, believe that? On Facebook. Gee, go figure that one. Oh yeah, these people were pathetic. They put the thing out to public, but then they want to sit there and try to copyright it, and nobody can use it. That's bullshit. You put it out in the internet, it's fair game. But they hit my show last night, my Conservative Viewpoint show last night, and they're so pathetic. It's unbelievable. So much going on. Let's see. I'm hoping they get their technical problem fixed. So we can see this because I don't know where Dan set up. He used to work for Fox. I don't know if Fox News, if he's in a Fox News building or not. But he was too conservative for Fox, I guess. So he's not there anymore. And he was on Newsmax too. And too conservative for that. And they're stupid because he brings in the viewers. He is number one podcast overall of amount of views and stuff. I mean, you got Joe Rogan and everybody, but he puts in. Let's see how much he's got right now. Oh yeah, 173,000, almost 100. Oh nope, 174, 175. Every couple seconds, he's running up another 1,000 people. Almost 176. Oh yeah, he gonna break 200,000 before he gets back on live when they get this fixed. So we'll surprise you here in a little bit, and we'll see what he gets up to. I'll bet you he puts 300,000 maybe on before the show's done. What the heck's MeWe, Tammy? I've never heard of that. Oh, man, I can't wait till it gets going. This is so much, especially on tonight's show, and we're going to break down everything that nobody's wanting to let this go. The Harris Fox News interview, and it's just going crazy. Even the liberal medias, of course, they're trying to put a spin on to it about Trump and everything. And I got response from Harris's campaign. Oh my, they're whiners. Oh yeah, wait till you hear it tonight, guys. You'll want to tune in 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's today? Oh yeah, Vic will be on. We got the Rebel Chicks with a Cause. She'll be on at 7 p.m. tonight. So make sure you tune in for that, guys. On Wimkin, WIMKIN.com. Let me see. I can put that stuff up here for you guys new to the show. Right there it is. You guys go in, subscribe, like, shop, everything that you guys are at. Make sure you hit that thumbs up in Rumble and do likes and views. We need the views in Wimpkin. That helps my channel grow. We got to get the truth out to people, guys. What are we, 19 days away from the election? The most important election we will ever see. So make sure you join us at wimpkin.com, and you'll see all the live streams come up on the main page. You just click on their picture, but look for Rebel Chicks with a Cause, but you'll look for Violent Vixen 29. Click on her picture and join us tonight at 7 to 9 with her, and stick around for me from 9 to 10. We've got a hell of a show. Vic always puts on a hell of a show. You guys aren't going to want to miss that either. So don't forget to hit them thumbs up, the likes, whatever it is, wherever you're streaming from and you're tuning in from. Make sure you do all that for me, guys. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. So we will get going here as soon as they get their little freeze issue going. And they will get it. He's got some good guys that work for him. And if I was as big as he was, I'd have people working for me too, and I wouldn't have to do all this work. But I get up 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I start working on the show. I do the morning show, let people get a sneak peek into what I'll be talking about on my nightly show. So might as well. I'm awake. So that's why I started the Waking Up America with the Conservative Viewpoint. And we're normally on at 8 a.m. But like I said earlier, because of this, we just waited off and put it until noon. But if you guys need more information, that's all my sites that I stream to. And send me friends requests in Facebook, whatever. And watch us weeknights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 a.m. for Waking Up America. You guys will have a blast. We have a blast in Wimpkin. I got some of the best Wimpkin warriors in there in chat, and they help me with the show and help me remind me of stuff that I'm forgetting to put out. So you guys will want to tune in for that. And you can join us in chat, guys. It's a great family fun time. It's kind of PG-13, so because sometimes I can't help myself. I kind of get a little bugged by all the lies coming out of the Democrats' mouth, so I kind of get a little feisty there. It's a good way of putting it. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But we start with Vic on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, the Rebel Chicks for the Cause, and then me right afterwards. So make sure you guys tune in. We have a blast. All right, what else we got? We go to while we're waiting here. Let's go back and check on Bongino's numbers. See how many people. Oh, there he is, 200,000. Look at that. Man, no wonder they broke Rumble. What did I say? I said that beforehand, right? But they didn't break chat yet. Chat is still going well. Up, and there it goes. It's still going up. So that's probably why. Oh, get off of there. And he's breaking the internet again. They break it all the time. This reminds me of the Elon having his interview with Trump. Exactly, Tammy. It breaks all the time. Every time they have this stuff, it breaks. All right, let me take my information down off here. You guys need it. You guys can email me. Email is below in the ticker there. Conservative Viewpoint at Yahoo.com. Oh, yeah. Today is the last night for this. This is the political flip coin I got from Trump's Butler rally that I went to. And this one will go off tonight. I was holding it upside down. This one will go off tonight. I'm going to draw a thing. You got time to get your names in if you want a chance to win this. But I stop it at 6 o'clock tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So if you want your name in for a drawing, plus I continue to do a drawing once a week after this for travel mugs and stuff. So if you want your name in, email me your name at conservativeviewpoint at yahoo.com. I will put your name into the drawing. And you don't want to miss it, guys. We'll give free travel mugs away and everything. Vic and Gab also put a great show on for all the latest news. And oh, yes, they do, Daniel. The show is working for me in Rumble. Bongino's is? Let's refresh this page because the chat's still going.
It's not even the guy's name.
There you go.
And then Lloyd Austin, the defense secretary, Guy's laughing. Remember how many times we played the clip of the defense secretary? He can never remember his name. He calls him the general. That guy, the tall guy in the corner, that dude. He can't even remember the guy's name. At least get it right. Like at least Javier Baccaria, he's like close. He's at least in the ballpark. He doesn't remember anyone's name. But President Trump actually fires people. And that's the way it happens in the business world. When you're in a business world and you're building a real estate, have you seen this building, folks? Have you ever been here? There's a bunch of Trump supporters outside. I saw them coming in. They said really nice things. So thank you if you're watching live under your phone outside. Nice to see you. But he built this real estate empire. If you got someone who tells you they're going to pour 20 floors of concrete and they only get 15 done, you got to fire him. You got to let him go. But Biden doesn't do that. So we'll get into the personnel question. And we'll see if what we've done in hopefully a second term to get some people in there. And I want to bring up one more thing about personnel. Sorry, I got a lot more, but Howard Lutnick, who's a really good guy I know really well, and is a Donald Trump supporter. He was on, I think it was CNBC the other day, and he brought up this fascinating point. The CNBC people, they said it like it was some kind of an insult. They're like, well, President Trump is, demanding loyalty. And Lutnick was like, yeah, no shit, man. Like, who the hell doesn't demand? Why would you want someone in your White House that wasn't loyal to you and the cause and the Constitution? I mean, Lutnick brought up he's like, you think I would hire someone at Cantor Fitzgerald, his company, if they weren't loyal? So we'll bring that up too. And I know what he's talking about. Of course, do you think Joe Biden's not hiring people who were loyal to Joe Biden? Give me a break. They cover for this guy no matter. Matter of fact, the sad joke about the whole thing is they were so loyal to Joe Biden that the guy's got like advanced stage dementia and nobody even said anything. It was like the worst kept secret in the world and nobody said anything. So, hard pass on like blood oaths and loyalty stuff. That was kind of dumb. Another question I want to get into with the president, this is a little personal for me and for him, is the substance abuse question. Huge problem in the United States. I know it's come up before, but my humble opinion, and I'm in this space all the time. I watch a lot of podcasts to see how people do things different. I don't know everything. I don't know 50% of the stuff out there. So I'm always learning. President Trump was on with Theo Von, a very funny guy, very talented guy, a huge podcast audience. And Theo Von asked him they got into a thing about substance abuse. And President Trump talked about his no drugs, no drinking, a policy with him and his kids. Paula, remember we were talking about this last night? Folks, it's really hard to understand, having grown up in New York like me and Paula did. This is like a partying culture. It is in New York. People work hard and they play really hard. To be a, business tycoon in New York with everybody throwing everything from high-end whiskeys at you, Pappy Van Winkles, to $2,000 bottles of champagne and drugs all over the place. Paula, you worked in the financial industry, right? Drugs all over the place. For him to lead this disciplined, clean lifestyle, I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that. So, you coming up now? Okay, cool. So that's a question I want to ask. And I want to contrast that with this left-wing caricature of President Trump about this left-wing caricature of President Trump, that he's somehow this undisciplined kind of guy that doesn't at all vibe with his business success and the way he's raised his kids. I think we can all agree in the chat that you can measure the wealth of a guy or a woman by how their kids turn out. And if any of you out there have met Ivanka, Don, Eric, Tiffany, I haven't met Barron. Barron's younger, but I've met the rest of them, the rest of the Donald Trump's children. They're just amazing people. And you don't raise amazing kids like that by being a terrible human being. It just doesn't happen. I want to ask him as well about the transition period without getting ahead of ourselves. We don't do red wave talk, but I want to ask him as well about the transition period. I'm extremely concerned about, the potential for left-wing chaos if we were to win this thing. I'm very concerned. And I just want to get his take on that as well. I want to ask him about what I believe his legacy is going to be with the Republican Party. I think his legacy with the Republican Party is going to be making the Republican Party the home for working class Americans and minority working class Americans again. We have had a really hard time. Again, Paul and I were chatting this morning, and I said, I was watching President Trump on Fox and Friends, and I said, this guy gets it, man. He made the Republican Party edgy again. We've run a bunch of stiffs and terrible candidates who, may have been right on they may have been right on the issues, but they have been terrible on the message. You got to get that right. I think one of his lasting gifts to the Republican Party is going to be his ability, his very unique ability to make this party the home for working class voters again. And I think the greatest irony of all is a very wealthy real estate developer in New York who understands, union workers and everyone else, became the guy who transformed the Republican Party back to the party of the working man. I mean, I think that's going to be his lasting gift. Every Republican who runs for office runs on, taxes and prosperity and the economy. You get all that. But I think that's going to be the best part. I think that's going to be his legacy. But if we can get to the rest, I will. I mean, obviously, we're limited by President Trump's schedule. Can you keep me updated on time, by the way? Show me your phone, Paul. I just want to see if I can see the time from here. I can. I got good eyes. You see the home screen. Let me tell you. This is a little test, folks. We're doing limiting. Oh, yeah. There you go. 10:06. Thank you. We got one right. Yeah, I can. Thank you. Just give me like every few minutes. So I don't want to keep them.
There never was any doubt in your life.
What's that?
There never was any doubt in your life.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. But yeah, definitely show me your phone. What's that? 235,000? Oh my gosh, this is insane. I love you. That's why I told you I didn't want, folks. I promise I was not messing with you with the time. It's just I hope you understand. The boss here is running a presidential campaign. The priority is getting him elected. It's not being on time for the Dan Bongino show. It's not even my priority. That's why I said 9:30 ish, because he's got things to do, and Manhattan is not the easiest place to get around. It's the kind of place where if you get an Uber, we did it this morning, it can go from 1 minute to 2 hours, depending on if the guy makes the wrong turn. So, I mean, he's not really dealing with traffic control like other people, but he had an interview on Fox this morning. So, my concern is getting him elected. It's not so much being on time. But, if we can keep him for the 60, this may work out. It'll roll right into our regularly scheduled time. But at this point, the 11 o'clock audience, if they missed it, will tune in. Chris. Oh, yeah, Chris. Big shout out to Chris from Rumble for making this happen, by the way, giving us a platform to speak freely. We appreciate that. If you would, give us a follow while you're here. You see that? Guy, what is it? Is it the follow button the green button at the top, rumble.com/Bongino? If you click that follow button, we'd appreciate it. Up to you. I don't want to be pushy or anything, but if you click the follow button, it is free and you'll get a notification when we go live every single day. We go live at 11 a.m. Eastern time outside of special events like this. And we're typically the #1 live stream in the world, thanks to you at home. So we appreciate that. And if you set up an account with Rumble, again, it's free. Give yourself a username, Bongino Army username, and then you can chat away. And we interact with the chat as much as we can. So during the show, we do 99% of our shows live. Speaking of that, one question at the end I would like to get to, depending on time. Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, most of you noticed we covered it on the show, have been actively now pushing for anti-free speech, censorship, weaponization of government type measures. This is the kind of thing I know Democrats have always supported, but they've at least been quiet about it in the past. They're not doing that now. And Elon Musk is being openly threatened by the EU now. They're trying to bankrupt him for supporting a platform that basically believes in free expression. There are terms of service, of course, but free expression. We've got to fight back. If we don't fight back against the EU doing this and use all of our diplomatic weapons, then folks, free speech is going to be gone. Free speech, if we lose, free speech is finished. You're going to see platforms like this and other platforms under, True Social and others that are going to be under relentless assault. And we can't rely on the courts to save us. We've seen that in the past. The courts are not that's not the backstop. That's not the relief pitcher out of the bullpen. We've got to win this election. We've got to win this election, or we're not going to have platforms like this to speak out. Speaking of which, I also would like to bring up, again, depending on time, Elon Musk. Elon's out campaigning now actively. Elon Musk, one of the most recognizable, wealthiest men in the world, guy who just amazingly landed a rocket back on Earth that got grabbed out of the air by what they call chopsticks. Trust me, those weren't no chopsticks. I've used chopsticks. I suck at using chopsticks. Those weren't chopsticks. Those was like, who the hell does that? Well, I'm watching this thing on Twitter, this rocket coming down to Earth, looks like freaking light speed Millennium Falcon. I'm like, this thing's going to crash. I heard him say it this morning, too, on Fox and Friends. He was the president. He was saying the same thing. And what it manages to slow down, Can you imagine this thing's landing and it finds this little platform like in the middle of nowhere, like a speck of dust in the scheme of things? This is the kind of guy I want in charge of a government efficiency committee. You want to talk about cleaning up government and streamlining it? Well, this is the way to do it. This is the way to get it done. What's that? 250 now? Oh man, this is Gee. You tell me you don't be nervous, right?
Yeah, don't be nervous.
Sorry, folks, we're still waiting, but ever tell you that story? I was doing a local radio. So Rush Limbaugh tragically passes away, and they announced that I'm going to be taking over the 12 o'clock spot on a bunch of these networks. And the lady, the host, says to me, I'm sitting there waiting for this live interview in a local station. She's like, "You're not nervous, right? You're going to be okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I'll be okay. I'm pretty sure." So Guy does that to me every time. He's like, "Don't be nervous." I don't really have the nervous gene, though. Did you notice that? It's not really my thing.
Yeah. Should we play the dog video again?
The dog video. I'm killing me with the dog video. Did you guys, who was watching yesterday? We played that ridiculous dog video from TMZ. I was going to let it go, but Guy's right. He said, you got to be a man of your word. You said on a Friday show, you're going to play this stupid dog video of this dog allegedly turning into a human being. And so we played the dog. Did anyone in the chat, did you guys hate it? Was it like so? But he made me do it. And Guy's telling Paula last night, we're flying up. He's like, the reason that he had to play this thing is he just drew this dog video in there in the show with no context whatsoever. He's like, what the hell is he going to say about this crazy dog video? So we played the dog video. And you see, I listen to my crew sometimes, but I didn't really have a lot to add. But if you saw it, it was kind of weird. It's probably some kind of AI thing or whatever. Oh, all right. Yeah, I should have worn my "Is It Bad Enough Yet" shirt too. I would, but folks, I hope you understand, former president, you got to, do I clean up okay? I'm really uncomfortable in this. So just so you know, Justin was saying to me this morning, he's like, dude, you look a little, stiff in this stuff. This is not my thing. What do I look all right? I mean, is the collar working? Yeah, I am. Thank you. This is not my look at all. No, but out of respect for obviously the former president, you got to put a collar on. But I should, man, my "Is It Bad Enough" shirt would have worked really well. What's that? You like it? Well, I guess that's all that matters, right? We'll see. We're headed out after this, folks. We're going to a concert down in Charlotte. Anybody have any guesses? No way. Yeah, we're gonna go to the Morgan concert down in Charlotte. We'll be there. We're gonna be there Saturday. So if you're at Morgan Wallen, come say hello. We'll be down in the pit. We made a lot of friends last time. It was a good time, but we're headed out and then we gotta head back home for the Monday show after that.
Chat likes this.
The what?
Chat likes.
Do you really was Bongino in the chat?
Of course.
Get our homie Bongino on the case. Bongino, here's the deal. What do you think? Once a month or so, I'll make a new deal with you today on the show. Not like an FDR new deal, but once a month, I will put on a jacket and a button-down shirt if the chat says so. Bongino, yes, please clean up once in a while and don't look like such a savage. Yes, put a collar and a jacket on once in a while. Or no.
Here we go again. I got to try to get this again. What's going on here? Hope it's not me freezing up this time. Hold on 1 second here. Come on. There we go. Or YouTube doing something. Come on. And me too at the same time here. Redo this again. You guys still hear me on there? Yep.
Line of Georgia and Florida, they've been really hurt. So
Don't know why
that'd be a
that's
pretty
doing
cool
that.
idea, right? Oh, he's coming. Okay, cool. But 275. We haven't even started yet. That's crazy, man. 275. I know, Chris. We're about to smash the chat completely. All right, baseball. Keep this thing on standby. I don't want to hold it the whole time, and I can't throw it because why can't I throw it, folks? Anyone in the chat know? Yes, that's right, because my elbows don't work. Yeah, it's just I'll blame it on the suit jacket. It's actually my terrible elbows that don't work. And I'll tell you what, if you'll sign our Dan Bongino, what do you think of this? A listener sent us this too. You'll see it in the 2 shop. We got this cool Dan Bongino wooden flag. Sign that. That'd be cool. That we'll put in a new studio. New studio coming soon. But join us for election night. Please, we'd love to have you. We'll start around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on November 5th. It'll be me. Avita Duffy will be there. The great Julie Kelly, Mike Benz. We've got a crazy guest lineup. We're going to bring Steven Crowder. We're doing a crossover with him. And we've got some other special guests we'll be announcing on election night. So if you click the follow button on the page while you're here right now, rumble.com/Bongino, you click that follow button, you'll get a notification. It's free. If you don't like the ads, if you don't like ads, I get it. Some people don't like ads. We understand. Rumble Premium is an option. It's a subscription. You don't have to do it, but it is an ad-free experience. I'm a Rumble Premium member. I pay for it. I don't ask Chris for freebies on that. So I'm a Rumble Premium member too. That's an option for you as well. All we ask is that you click that follow button. And like I said, the show is absolutely free, an ad-free experience. You can go to Rumble Premium and also download the Rumble app, also free. It goes on your phone. You'll get a notification. It's clean. We've really enhanced the user experience. We're making some incredible progress every single day with Rumble. And without free speech platforms like this, we just wouldn't be able to talk at all. I mean, Rumble basically exists because YouTube censored me over that stupid mask debate, which isn't a debate at all. So there is no debate. Masks don't work. And then YouTube kicked me off. They caused their own problems there. So yeah, election night coverage. Don't miss that. I see we got a bunch of MAGA hats here too. Nice coming in now. Okay, cool. All right, folks, you ready? How many people we got? Almost 289, almost at 300. And look at that. We haven't even started yet. Amazing. Yeah, this is going to be good. All right. 280. See if we can crack 300. If we crack 300, you got to tell me. I want to hear it. I want to see it. Yeah. Give me that. There you go. Give me like the 3 fingers. That'd be awesome. All right. I see him coming in now, folks. President Donald J. Trump, hopefully the next president of the United States, too. Yeah, look at this guy. Man, you look good. Look at you. You been working out this morning? Thank you, Mr. President, for doing this. We appreciate it. Saying hello to the crew.
My guy. Nice to see you. So
You
we're
know-
doing pretty well. I mean, the states are looking pretty good.
Listen, I have never been more excited about a race than this one, but I'm telling everyone to vote early. Bank that vote
Well, vote early or vote.
or vote. But
Yeah,
if you
no.
can, bank it.
That's such corrupt
It's so
stuff.
good to see you. Let me stand up. You are
That's good. Thank you, man.
the president and soon to be, hopefully, next president.
Well,
How you
we
been?
hope-
You feeling all
We
right?
hope so.
You've been busy.
I've been busy. I really have. We've been doing a lot. Your show's going great, huh?
How many people we got watching right now? Oh yeah, move your mic a little closer, Mr. President,
Oh.
just to be. How many people we got watching? 290,000
Good.
people, and the
That's
show
good.
just started. So we'll
That's
be the
good. Oh, it
biggest
just
live stream in
started,
the
huh?
world.
Ooh.
Yeah, we just
You're
started.
going to have a lot more than that when this goes off. You
Yeah.
watch.
We beat the NFL last night in live stream. You know that?
Is that right?
Yeah, we did.
No
Yeah, it's
kidding.
crazy. You know why? Because the MAGA crowd are the most loyal people.
Yeah.
I've never seen a
Your
political
crowd
movement.
is MAGA, right?
Oh my gosh.
Pretty much.
MAGA They're like super extra mag. They're like, Elon had like the dark MAGA.
Right.
We're like the darkest MAGA.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. We're like,
How about Elon? How about him?
Oh, we love you.
I saw that rocket come in, and he's campaigning now in Pennsylvania.
Don't you love it? It's good to have
He's-
successful people, right?
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
So
Let's go.
I got a couple of questions for you. I appreciate your time.
Okay.
First off.
Yeah.
The Secret Service, obviously a sensitive topic with me. I spent 12 years there, protected Democrat and Republican presidents, something really close to my heart. I know you've told the story quite a bit. We all saw it. I spoke to you the next day. We had a conversation on the phone. It was amazing. Like you told the story almost like you weren't even there. You were I couldn't believe how you came within inches of dying on television. There's no easy way to put it. And you I never seen anything like it. You get up and your first instinct is to scream, fight. And then you had said, which I know the people who surround you, they're really good people. The Secret Service, I've known them for a long time. But if we get you into office, Mr. President, we need you safe. Can we commit today to some kind of commission or reform the Secret Service? We can get some outside experts to make substantive reforms when you're in charge.
So the people I've met from Secret Service, and I know a lot of them, right? They're amazing. They're really good. They had a really bad day in Butler. And I don't know whose fault that was. I guess you go top level, but that building should have been covered, obviously. But if you look at what happened, when those bullets started going off, they were on top of me really quickly. And it's a miracle they weren't hit, actually. I think the guy was sort of stunned. Something happened to him. Something happened. The Secret Service shooter was amazing because he was very far away, and he spent one bullet, when you think. But everybody I've met from the Secret Service has been so good, but they had a bad day. There's no doubt about it. We're not allowed in this world to have a bad day, right?
No.
It's not in this one. This is too big. I think they did a good job the second time. Some people said you should have caught him the day before, or he should have never been there. But that was a great job that the other Secret Service the second time. I mean, that guy was.
I don't think so.
That guy was.
I've done.
No,
this.
I understand. I understand it.
They shouldn't. That guy should have been nowhere near you.
Yeah. I understand it both ways. The individual guy did an amazing job. To see a barrel coming out of a bush.
Guy, yeah.
No, but to see a barrel, that was a Secret Service guy. To see a barrel coming out of a bush was something pretty amazing. But no, it's got to be safe. Got to be safe.
Yeah, we need to reform that. It's really important.
How was the report? The report came out yesterday.
The report's devastating, and it confirms a lot of things that I've said being an agent for over a decade of my life. Mr. President, they have this government attitude. This kind of segues nicely into another question I had. You're from the private sector.
Right.
Okay, I was given an example. I was chatting, waiting for you, my audience, to come down from your Fox interview and what you were doing. And I said, you're a builder in New York, one of the toughest places in the world to build. You know that. You're dealing with bureaucrats, unions with conflicting interests. Right. How you got all this done, I don't even know, but you did. You tell a guy, I need 15 floors of concrete in 6 months, and he tells you, hey, we came up 10 floors short. You're going with the new concrete company. And by the way, you're dealing with a lot of interest, if you know what I mean, especially the concrete in New York. You've been there, right? That doesn't happen in New York. I mean, in the government, excuse me. You were president of the United States. You have these failed agencies that blew it. The Secret Service that did this whole, yesterday's technology tomorrow. We used to laugh when they didn't have a drone. So when you get into office, say with someone like an Elon Musk, are you planning on some systemic wide review of the FBI, Secret Service, these other entities, and saying, listen, we're not doing it this way anymore. We're going to produce results for the American people, or you're all getting a boot. We're out. This is it. We're done.
Well, Dan, as you have to have the best people, and it's all about the people. And I know nothing about, very little about that, although I've learned a lot over the last few weeks. It's amazing. We had a rally in Butler, second rally. We had 107,000 people that turned out. Amazing. And it's become a great site. I don't know if it's like a memorial site to where cars are riding up and down the road, honking their horn from all over the place. They're coming from all over the country. Yeah, it's become like, what is it in Nevada where they have the site with the aliens, right?
The Area 51.
It's like Area 51, Area 51. Right. I think it's the largest. Butler, you have to see Butler. The streets are just loaded with cars. They ride up and down the side and they honk. Yeah. It's, I don't know, it's cute. It's beautiful, actually. But I know the Secret Service well. I know I didn't know the top person, but I know the people that work on my detail. They're very, very good. You know a lot of them,
Yeah, no,
and they're great people. Something went wrong, and you can't let it go wrong. So I can tell you, you'd be somebody good to look into that. You would be good. That was your business, right?
That was my.
You would
for a
be
long
good,
time.
but they got to get it right. It's dangerous. I'll tell you what, being president is a dangerous profession when you
Yeah.
think. Okay, I mean, forget about me. You look, it's 0.1% die as a race car driver, right? Okay, so you take 1%. Now you take 1/10 of that. That's what die. And these guys are going around a track at 220 miles an hour. The bull riding to me looks like, that's not something I want to do, right? And it's about the same, 1/10. They get killed. They get killed.
It's not like it hasn't happened. JFK,
No, it happens.
Reagan
yeah.
was shot.
No, but when you think about it, a lot of presidents have been shot and even assassinated relative to the number. So I always say this is a dangerous business. I never thought of that when I ran. You think everything's peachy dory, but it's a nasty business. One thing I would like to do is the first shooter, which they say was a miracle. I mean, it's lucky I moved to the right, but if I didn't turn to the right, over immigration. See, I got saved over illegal immigration. The chart. My all-time favorite chart. But the first shooter had 3 apps, and 2 of them they say were foreign based, and they haven't opened those apps. And I wonder why the FBI hasn't done that. The second shooter had 6 cell phones. Now, who has 6 cell phones? Have you ever heard of anyone? I have 2, but who has 6 cell phones? And you would think that they'd want those opened, and they haven't opened them. And they can open them, and I guarantee they opened them for January 6th. All those guys got their cells opened. So why aren't they opening? So I do ask that question. Why isn't the FBI opening up those phones?
Yeah.
And they're foreign. It looks like they're foreign based. So you never know, where these people are coming from. They may look innocent, like, they're nice country boys, but they may not be. So I'd like to see them open that up and fast, and we'll get down to the bottom of it.
I suspect there's probably some foreign connections there, and candidly, I don't.
It looks
trust,
doesn't it? Though?
Yeah, I just don't trust the FBI,
yeah,
Mr. President,
well,
given their experience.
I understand that.
It's not like we're basing this off some hypothetical. They spied on your campaign. We have the names of the spies. I mean, I wrote 3 books on it. It's not. I cited left-wing sources in the books. Let me ask you.
They actually spied on my campaign. And then they go after the people that went after the spies, right? And they spied on my campaign. And if you look, it was Biden and Obama and their group of people. And the deep state, they wanted that forgotten as quickly as possible. The fake news media, they hate to cover it. And when you say they spied on my campaign, they go, well, no, they actually spied on my campaign. We have it all. So we'll see.
Leslie Stahl said
I don't
no,
think
though,
any
at 60 Minutes, so it didn't happen.
Yeah.
She's a very credible
Leslie
source,
Stahl.
of course.
And she never gave me an apology.
No,
and David Muir didn't give me. When I said crime is rampant, he said no, crime has gone down.
Right.
And he said the FBI told him. I said, well, the FBI, it's a fraudulent report because they didn't include the worst cities.
You saw the FBI correction?
They corrected, yeah.
They had to say, oh, yeah, there were 1,699 more. How do you miss a murder?
They go,
how the hell the guy's dead?
That's right.
How do you miss a murder?
They go, let's include a few other cities like the worst cities, right? No, it's very sad what's happening with the FBI.
You ever say to yourself, gosh, my batting average with these media idiots is like 1,000, like this Trump 1,000, media losers 0. I mean, I got to tell you, of all the media moments you've had, the one that infuriates me the most, it's actually a segment on my show, is the Leslie Stahl, sir moment. Sir, we can't verify. You're the media, you loser. What do you mean you can't? Your job was, all you had to do was go to the FBI and ask, is this thing real?
And she knew it. Look, it's, hey, I think the worst scandal I've ever seen in broadcast history will maybe not be as much of a scandal. If that were a Republican, it would have been over. When they changed Kamala's answer, they didn't edit. They took her entire, which showed she was crazy. They took it out, the entire paragraph, and it was a long, lots of, they say word salad. I don't like the term actually, but they say word salad. It was just words, like rambling words, horrible. Yeah. So they take it out and they put another statement that she made 2 pages later. They insert it, and nobody would have known the difference, and they got caught. They
Oh,
got caught.
Yeah, you've nailed CBS.
And
a
I
few
think
times.
it's the worst scandal. You know, it's one thing if they took even a sentence off, because they do that with me all the time, because I like to speak in long sentences, paragraphs, right? And if they take a sentence out like in the middle, it really does screw it up. But think of this. They took the whole thing in and they replaced it with a totally unrelated time and place. And they put it in. And that's the only one that we caught. And we want them to release the tapes now. So I think I'm going to sue them, actually.
Good. Go for it.
I think so. No, you know what? They can't defend it. And if they do, and even if they win, it's going to be very embarrassing. 60 Minutes. So I've done it many times. I did it with Mike Wallace. The best one I ever had was Mike Wallace, and he was the biggest killer. And, you know, Chris tries to be Mike, but you still have to have it.
Yeah, he's not cutting it.
He doesn't.
He's not cutting it.
But it's a very embarrassing moment for them. But the media is not pressing it. You would think the media would be pressing it. And I go a step further. It's so bad they should lose their license and they should take 60 Minutes off the air. This is like the $64,000 question many years ago. Have you ever read the books on television? Yeah. They caught somebody, they gave somebody the answers, right? And he was a very famous dude. They ended up giving him the answers. And the whole thing, it was the biggest scandal maybe in television. But this is potentially, because think of what they did. It's election interference. They gave her an answer.
Right.
It was worse than that. They took the answer out and put a new answer in.
Mr. President, I think you should call them 61 minutes from now on, because they added an extra minute for Kamala. So I think it's a mistake to call them 60 minutes. You're giving them too much credit. So in public speeches, just refer to them 61. They add an extra minute for Kamala.
But how about David Muir? Everything I said.
Right. Crime is down, right?
No, everything I said,
yeah.
He questioned. There wasn't a thing. Every single thing I said, he questioned. And he was wrong, I think, on every one of them, I'm pretty sure. But he never questioned her. And she talked about Charlottesville. She talked all things that have been, as they say, debunked. Another term I don't like, but it's, you know, a pretty accurate term. All totally debunked. Bloodbath. They used a bloodbath. I was talking about the car industry, right? Not talking about a bloodbath. He used the word bloodbath. Right. You know, these people are sick. You got to say, though, they are good at what they do. You have to admire it.
Yeah, listen,
they are sick.
You know, you and I are New York kids, you know. I'm just a slight tad bit younger, but you remember 1980s Times Square pre-Giuliani.
Yeah.
You know, remember the Folexes, the fake Rolexes, and then all the peep shows and stuff. I mean, some of the scammers were good. Remember the shell game guys? That's they were good. Like, so that's them. Like, if you're going to be good at a scammer, you might as well be good at it. That's what 60
The press
is
a big scam.
Oh,
it's terrible. You know, I don't know that a country can come back if it has a fake press.
It's hard.
Because they're like the policemen. You know, they keep people honest, right? But Democrats don't have to be honest. They really don't have to be honest, because they will never be accused of anything. It's interesting. I was so amazed that Harvey Weinstein got schlonged. He got hit as hard as you can get hit, because he was sort of the king of the woke, right? Yeah. And yet he got hit. And I figured that maybe he wouldn't get hit so hard. But boy, did he get, you don't know him well. I don't know him well. But I watched that, and it was amazing. So when they do get hit, they get hit. But that's the only one I can think of. Normally, they protect everybody. What they did with Adams, I think, is very suspect.
I heard you bring that up last night.
Well, I brought it up because he was on the dais, and I think other people were bringing it up too.
You think it's coincidental that he comes out with the immigration problem in New York City as the mayor here,
no,
and then all of a sudden the DOJ...
I predicted it. So he came out pretty strongly against the migrants taking over the city, which, as a mayor, he should, right? And not getting paid. You know, they've spent $3 billion on migrants, and the federal government's not there to pay it back. But he went against the party. I said, he will be indicted within 6 months. I know these people, like deranged Jack Smith. This is a deranged individual.
Do you see he's going to release another manifesto? I mean, is this this guy is absolutely
before the election?
I've never seen anything like it. This is like tyranny.
And the judge is allowing
hammer sickle stuff.
And the judge is allowing him to do it. And it's not even believable. This guy is a sick puppy, and they're going to release something else. And always before the election. You know, they want to do it before the election. Yeah. So election interference. No, it's a terrible thing, what's happening. And the judges, this judge is the most evil person
I never see anything like it.
She was.
Chutkin.
They all said, "Well, make sure you don't get Chutkin." And who did I
You
get?
lucked
I got
out,
Chutkin.
man.
I got Chutkin. It's
She's
all
a
right.
real
It's
prize.
all right. Because it has to get approved by lots of different people.
Yeah.
But they said, make sure you don't get Chutkin. Well, I have nothing to do with it. So they supposedly pick balls, right? It's not. I don't think it works that way, but that's what they say. That's the way it's supposed to be. You pick out of a hat, and that's a judge. But
Yeah,
they
there was
said,
probably one name.
well,
in
you
the
don't want Chutkin, that's for sure, and you got
hat.
Chutkin.
Every ballot in the hat had Chutkin on it.
Well,
That's
think of it.
happened.
What judge would do that? Forget about deranged Jack Smith.
Right.
A judge is supposed to keep
Right.
it in check. What judge would say, we're going to release something, a couple of days before?
By the way,
election?
which you have almost no ability to respond to. He could be making this up. Everyone in our system
Yeah.
is innocent till proven guilty, not guilty till proven innocent. It's
Yeah.
disgraceful.
It's an amazing thing. Well,
You know what the real I get so much I want to. Can I ask you a different
no, it's
question?
because it's hard to believe, right?
It is. It's hard to
It's
believe.
hard
Like
to
even the CNN legal analyst, what's his name? That Honey guy
Yeah.
was like, "This is really
Yeah.
unprecedented." That's CNN. They don't even like
Did
it.
did he say that about this one?
He said it about 3 weeks ago
Oh,
when
he-
Jack Smith released the first. You look it up. I'm pretty sure it was Honig, but it was definitely on CNN. And he was, I think, a federal prosecutor. And he said, I've never seen anything like this, where the prosecutor gets to release an uncontested memo with unproven charges, not in a courtroom, but basically a campaign document.
Right.
It was the most obscene thing. This, again, CNN, which, let's be honest, they hate your guts. And they're putting that on you. That's how bad this guy is.
The legal analyst for CNN, it's the top guy, has been against all of this. He said Trump did nothing wrong. I'm so amazed. I'm more impressed with that than anything else I've seen on CNN. But, because you'd think they'd try and stop him.
Yeah.
He is one of the biggest guarders of the Constitution. I mean, he really is. He's a great lawyer. He said, this is really unfair. But think of it, right before the election. Now, I don't even know what it says. This is made up by other people. It has nothing to do with me. And you don't even get a right to answer. It is, see, that's election interference right there. That's cheating
How
on an
many
election.
stories have they told about you that are so? Remember you beat up the Secret Service driver? We used to
Yeah.
laugh about that in my show because I know the people
So
who
that's
are
now
involved
been proven to be
that you
false.
tackled. You
But
like
listen-
you gave him a triangle
Yeah.
choke from the back of the car. You're a pretty talented guy. You
Well, a
must
lot
have
of
learned
people
that in
said,
the
don't
USC gym.
dispute that, sir. It makes you look very tough and strong. No, they
You
say,
took out a couple.
they say I
Secret
went to the man on the right who's a
That's good.
weightlifter and like 30 years old. And then the man on the right who's supposed to be a great
Took 'em all
karate
out.
expert.
Right.
I decided to go for him and I
That's it.
got him around the neck.
Use your skills. Right.
And
your
this
Muay
was
Thai
a
skills.
woman who I think the testimony is all now gone. So what happened to me, here's one of the greatest scandals. The Unselect Committee of Political Hacks, Cheney, all these people.
Yeah.
Cheney is, they say, we have a Republican. The Republican is Cheney. And then they have kissing, crying.
Yeah, he's always crying.
I've
Yeah.
never seen him when
What's
he's
with the
not crying.
all the time. With that guy?
They go him crying at him, kissing. He cries every time. He's so desperate. He's a sick
Sad,
puppy.
right?
Those are the two Republicans. Okay.
Yeah.
So they say the bipartisan committee, they were much worse than any Democrat. The
Yeah.
Democrats were nothing. So anyway, so the head of it, Benny Thompson,
Yeah, he's
a real
gem.
beauty, he decided to destroy all evidence of this year and a half trial. Everything is gone. The reason is because I was so innocent. And like, as an example, this one case that I won't mention names, the person that did that said that it's been totally unconfirmed, right? It's been unconfirmed. The Secret Service agent said, never happened. Never happened. I tell you, first of all, you wouldn't be able to do it. And
I
second-
worked with him in New York, Bob,
Yeah, Bobby.
and
he's great.
he knows that didn't happen.
Bobby's a tough cookie. Bobby's not going to let
He's a
somebody
Marine.
grab him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not grabbing Bobby
Well,
around.
you're right.
the-
That may be a great. Like you took them all out.
No,
with
I
your
have a
judo
friend
and
that say,
stuff.
why are you fighting that?
Yeah,
Let
go
it be. It doesn't make any difference. Let it be. You beat that crap out of him. It's the coolest thing I've ever heard, right? But I said, let's tell the truth. It never happened. I actually said, I'd love to go down, remember, peacefully and patriotically. Do you know they don't mention that in any paper?
No, never.
Biggest, most important part, peacefully and patriotically. They don't mention that in any paper, in any document, in anything. It's crazy. So anyway, it was all disproven. Did you know they've destroyed all evidence, right? Now, you're supposed to go to jail if you destroy evidence. Even in a civil case, you go to jail. They announced, we have decided to destroy all evidence having to do with the Unselect Committee. I love the name Unselect because it's called the Select Committee. I call it the Unselect Committee.
Do you find it weird that the January 6th Unselect Committee, which I agree is unselect about him, do you find it weird they're not interested about why Kamala Harris was not at the Capitol on January 6th, but was at the DNC when a pipe bomb was outside?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Why doesn't Kamala Harris? They keep saying it's an insurrection. Why doesn't she tell that story?
It's a rigged deal. The whole thing is rigged, 100% rigged.
If you get elected, and we hope that happens, can you get an answer as to why she was there?
I do believe. Look, this is really corrupt stuff. The other thing is, as you know, they really won in the Supreme Court. Okay, the Fisher case and the various cases. Why are they still being held? Nobody's ever been treated like this. Nobody's ever. Maybe the Japanese during Second World War, frankly, but they were held too. But when you look at Portland and the damage they did and killed people, because other than Ashley, nobody was killed here. Nobody was killed, and there were no guns involved. And these are all gun owners. These are people that have guns, but they never went to the Capitol with guns.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. It's a very sad. I think it's a very sad day in the country's life. Yeah. But here's the end of this: they destroyed and deleted all evidence. So now we're not going to know what she said about how I beat the crap out of these two Secret Service agents.
Right.
I was so strong. Yeah. My arm just ripped around those big necks. 24-inch necks. Yeah. I ripped my arm around them and they didn't have a chance. No, Dan, can you imagine that?
No, I knew.
But how do they delete it and destroy it? You're not allowed to do that.
The Secret Service deleted the text from that day too, and they said it was a tech transfer. It was not. It's a lie. So if you get elected, I'm really hoping we can get to the bottom. We should talk about that. Can I ask you something else about a kind of a switching gears a minute? The media paints you in this ridiculous. You've seen the caricatures; they're insane. When I was going through cancer treatment at Sloan Kettering, I was going in for surgery and I had a bad incident. And you called me that day from the White House. And I got to tell you, I was really touched by the whole thing. You are extremely loyal to your friends. And I say to people, you know why? Because he's a Queens guy. And tell me if I'm right. Here's my theory, Donald Trump theory on Queens, why you got the bravado and the machismo and why the guys really like you and the bro podcast. Queens guys, we never had the money of the Manhattan kids. So you don't have like the class like of the Manhattan. You're not in like the upper crust of this fake caste system we have in New York. It exists.
Yeah.
But we're never given the tough guy credit the Brooklyn and the Bronx kids are. Nobody wants to fight them just because they say they're from Brooklyn. So when we're from Queens, we always got to say it and do it. We just can't show up and, this guy's got money. He's from Central Park West, or he's from Brooklyn. He's tough. Hey, tell me I'm not right about Queens. Is that the Donald Trump phenomenon?
Well, it's a great place to learn. A lot of very successful people came out of Queens. Queens is it's a place of successful people, as you know. But so is Brooklyn, and maybe the Bronx too, a little bit different.
Paula's from the Bronx.
Huh?
Paula, lovely Paula. She looks good, doesn't she?
It's good, beyond good. It's really
it's crazy
great.
Being married to 25.
I know,
so
doing
weird.
Well, and she has a lot to do with your success.
Oh my gosh!
I have seen over the years people married and having a great relationship, and they're successful. Then it doesn't work out. They go to somebody else and they lose everything. The man behind the woman and the woman behind the man is both. It works out both ways. But I've seen many cases where somebody's successful, but with somebody else not successful at all. I see it with athletes.
Your secret weapon?
Melania,
she's
by the way, she just did #1 bestseller book. Did you see that?
Yeah.
#1. She's #1 on the list, New York Times list. Now, to be #1 for Trump, to be #1 on the New York Times list is not even believable, right? You know what? You have to go. She had to be #1 by thousands of books, okay? Because they're pretty tough on that. No, she's got the #1 bestseller, Melania.
Can I ask you a question about your business time in New York? Wallman Rink. For those of you who don't know at home, Wallman Rink is a ice skating rink. The city couldn't fix it for 500 years because it's the city of New York. It was a train wreck. They come to you. They say, Mr. Trump at the time weren't running for president or anything. Can you fix this mess? You got it done in record time. I don't even remember. You have the rink.
Well, it was closed for 11 years. My kids were getting older. They kept saying, Ivanka, Daddy, can I go ice skating? I'm sorry, darling. The rink is under construction. After saying that for 11 years,
Yeah.
for 11 years, it's been under construction for 11 years. My darling, you're the most beautiful little ice skater, but there goes your career because
Right.
you have to start young. And they were building. So they were building it for 11 years. And they had spent just, numbers that were unbelievable. They couldn't get it to work. They were building it wrong. They had the wrong pipe. They had the wrong system. They used a refrigeration company from Miami.
Right.
Now, you don't go to Miami for a rink. You go to Canada.
Right,
I went to the Montreal Canadiens. They came down. They were very nice. They came down. They said, this doesn't work. You have to use a brine system. Anyway, they were using a gas system. They had the wrong everything. And, they'd pour this big 50,000 foot site in little tiny patches.
Right.
So it was all uneven. You never saw a butcher job like this. So I took it over. So it was under construction for 11 years. I got it done in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And
I
it
remember.
was
It's a famous
perfect.
story in New York.
I had
People don't
cement
remember
trucks going, the Teamsters. I had cement trucks going from the rink back to Harlem, along the
that. Yeah.
park.
Oh, yeah.
And I had 40, 50 trucks standing there, all poured over a 2-day period at one time. They were doing little chunks and then they wouldn't match. And then they tried to hook up pipes. The whole thing was the craziest thing. And the people from the Montreal Canadiens came down and they said, oh, and you remember, they kept stealing the copper pipe. You'd put pipe in the concrete.
Right.
But every night they'd put the pipe in, the pipe would be gone the next day. The thieves, because copper is very expensive.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you don't want to use copper. You want to use hose. And it has to have water in it, warm water. And you have to put salt in the water. That way it doesn't. That's the whole thing. That was a big factor, It's called brine. It's water and salt. So the salt doesn't let it freeze, right? And it was great. And we opened it and I ran it for many years. And de Blasio came along. And by the way, I hit him hard last night. Did you see that? Were you watching last night?
No, I was traveling up.
So they had the Al Smith dinner last night, the big Catholic dinner in the Plaza. It was great. The Cardinal was, everybody was.
Kamala skipped out.
Everybody was there but her.
I love your joke about Tampon Tim, by the way, that he didn't show up, but he's telling everyone he's there.
That's right.
Yeah, he's telling war stories.
We had a lot of
right
jokes. It's actually, you're supposed to be a comedian, at least for part of your speech. So
no, you were good. I like that. You were pretty funny.
It came out. It was a great evening.
I know you're short on
Was
time.
de Blasio the worst mayor in history?
I think Dinkins was really bad. I think Dinkins was, they called him Stinkins. Yeah. Dinkins was bad.
Yeah.
You and I have been through Koch, Dinkins, Beam, mayors of New York.
Who was the best mayor?
Oh, Giuliani, by far. I worked as a cop under Giuliani. You went into Times Square under Giuliani. That's actually one of my questions. See, bad enough yet, New York City. You and I lived through the Giuliani era. You go up, you get off the train station in Times Square, you get hit with 7 hookers, 20 drug dealers, and 3-card Monte guys left and right? Giuliani gets elected. Mr. President, you know as well as I do. You walk through Times Square 6 months later, it's a totally different place. So when people tell me Donald Trump, who grew up in that New York and is committed to changing government, can't fix things, it's too bad. I say, BS. It was 1,000 times worse in New York, and Giuliani turned it around like that.
Well, it's getting bad. I will say it's getting bad. Bad things are happening, and the migrants are making it happen really bad because, we have 100,000 migrants. Nobody has any idea how many. And interesting, the mayor said, this is not sustainable. And I said, he'll be indicted. And he was indicted. They indicted him. This is a bad group. Same group that we just talked about. And it's, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with it. But having a young Rudy at this moment, a young Rudy, because he did a great job.
You saw it.
This city was a mess. This whole place was a mess. And within a couple of years, it became the safest big city in the world, right?
It was amazing. It was great for business with you.
He's got to be given credit for it. He did a great job.
The question from my audience I put out a poll. I said, give me some questions for President Trump. I want to hear what you all have to say. Personnel. Your first term, you were new to politics, which was a benefit, but in a little bit has a downside in that you don't know all the players. You're a business guy. So people recommended you hires. Mm-hmm. You had to get rid of a lot of people. A lot of them turned out to be turkeys. And they're concerned the second term that we may have that same problem. I've told them, I know your team. I know they get it now. Do you have, I'm not asking for any names. I don't want you, I wouldn't dare, but do you have a set of people now you can trust who, when we get in, because we're not going to have a lot of time. In 2 years, there could be a midterm issue.
Right.
We've got 2 years to clean this disaster up. You feel like you've got a roster, like a team
So
of
when I
hitters?
first got elected, Dan, I was only, you probably heard me say this story, but I was there 17 times in Washington, D.C. So I wasn't a Washington person. I knew really nobody there. And mostly because I was building a hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, and a beautiful hotel that I sold to the Waldorf Astoria. I did great with it, but I did a beautiful job. But it was mostly for that. So I was essentially never in Washington, so I didn't know people. So I had to rely on people, for big positions. I'm saying, hey, do you know anybody that can be like this job and that job? And generally, I got it very good. We had Lighthizer, trade. We had a lot of good guys, but we also made some mistakes. Made mistakes at Attorney General, made mistakes. I made some mistakes. And I don't really blame myself for it. They were highly recommended by rhinos, and they weren't the right people. They just weren't the right people. And there were some other positions too. Mostly I got it right. Nobody ever talks about the good. We had a lot of great people, but we had some mistakes. And
you fired them.
I fired them. And here's what happens. When I fire, because I'm famous or whatever, for whatever reason, when I fire them, immediately the book companies go to them and they say, oh, we'll give you a book if you say bad things about Trump. If Bush fired somebody, nobody cares. If somebody else fired. But immediately when I fire, they go to and they write something, or they say, like Bolton was a stiff. He was a dumb guy, very stupid guy. But actually, he came in handy because he was a maniac. He always wanted to go to war with people.
Yeah, he wants to bomb everyone.
He wants to bomb. So he wouldn't talk because he was stupid. But what happened is I'd bring him into a room with Putin, and Putin would say, oh, shit, Trump wants to go to war, because Bolton was with Bush. And they, think of it. They went into the Middle East. They bombed the hell out of the place and they left. It's like they bombed. This guy he wanted to bomb anything. He's a nut job, but he was good for negotiating purposes. But then after a while, you fire him. And whenever you fire people, generally, if they have an option, like with me, most people don't care. It's like they get fired, but there's nobody to write about the boss. But if the boss is famous, they can maybe get a book deal. So I believe in firing people. For instance, in Afghanistan, Biden should have fired every general and every person involved in that botched job, moving the soldiers out first. Everything they did was wrong. They should have all been fired.
How do you leave the military base first in Bagram?
First of all, they should have used Bagram, and then they dropped Bagram, and China has Bagram right now, and it's an hour.
I was in Bagram. It's amazing.
So it's
they left it.
Yeah, they left.
They didn't even tell the locals. Locals showed up when there was nobody there.
Yeah, my plan was I was getting out, but keeping Bagram because of China, because it's an hour away from where they make their nuclear weapons. So anyway, that's where it is. That's the saddest story, in maybe the most embarrassing story in the history of our country, that whole Afghanistan. We were getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and strength, and we were going to get out. It was going to be great. We had to get out. It was 20 years, 21 years. It was ridiculous. But we were going to keep Bagram because of China. We didn't keep it.
Can I ask you a hypothetical on that? Say, I mean, obviously we can't prove a counterfactual, but you're the president. Say that 2020 debacle doesn't happen and you're sitting there in the Oval. I agree. We had to get out of there. Do you say to them, the Taliban, here's the deal, brothers, we are leaving, but I'm telling you right now, you touch a hair on the head of one of our people, we are going to rain hellfire.
But I did say that. We didn't have any soldiers shot after I spoke with Abdul, the leader of the Taliban. Yeah. We didn't have any soldier. Not one soldier for 18 months was killed. And Biden actually admitted that at a speech a few years ago. He said, well, I have to say, no soldier's been killed. We were losing a lot of soldiers over there with Obama. And I said that if you do it, I don't want to say exactly what I said because it's not appropriate, but I said, you better not shoot our soldiers. We didn't have one soldier killed, Dan.
Yeah.
Think of it, in 18 months. And then this horrible thing happened. They should have left from Bagram, number one, not for that base. And we lost 13 soldiers.
Yeah.
Many really badly hurt, with the legs and the arms and the whole thing. We have Americans left behind. Yet some very good people left behind, too, that maybe should have come with us. They had that airlift, which was terrible, with people falling off the planes. It was so bad. And we left behind $80 billion worth of equipment.
Biden never recovered from that. Everybody saw what a loser he was.
Biden is
after
a
that.
grossly incompetent man, but here's the bad news. She's worse.
Oh,
She
she's
is
horrible.
more incompetent than Biden.
Yeah, no, she's horrible. Can I ask you a really?
Dan, I got to get going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They're going crazy.
All right, folks. I'm sorry. We got to wrap it up with the president. You got a little thing called the campaign coming up, and you got to go
do.
win. I want to
I
thank
do.
you for your time. I want to thank you for my audience. I'm really. Oh, can I ask you one small
Yes.
favor? We're going to do election night coverage, and I want to do, Franklin Graham, Samaritan's Purse.
Yeah.
So I want to auction off a Donald Trump signed Bongino baseball
Good.
and give it to Franklin Graham. Would you be kind
I
enough to
would
sign
do
it
it.
on
I would
camera?
do it.
And that way everybody knows it's real. I
will
would
do
so
it.
deeply. I'm sorry to put you on the spot,
That's
Mr. President.
all right.
I
Let's
just,
see.
I think we could raise a fortune
That's
for
a nice-
Franklin Graham.
nice
You like
baseball.
that? Someone made
It's
a
gonna have
listener made
plenty
that
of
for us.
movement on it.
And we are going to auction this off, and everything. Franklin Graham, Samaritan's Purse, coming your way. I know you like
He's doing a
Franklin a
great
lot.
job.
He's doing an amazing job. I just want to make sure everybody
I'll
knows
tell you,
it's
he's not
real.
doing a good job. Kamala,
Come on,
she's not doing a good
the
job.
worst. Though you're right. Biden was better. They were better off with him. There it is. We are going to raise a fortune for charity, 100% to charity. There you see it, folks. President Donald J. Trump. Justin, grab that Sharpie. We appreciate it so much. Mr. President, thanks a lot.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck in the
Thank you,
campaign.
Thank
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Wow, this is amazing. We're gonna do it.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, this is. I guess
That's like the old days.
I'll let Marco know how much money we raised.
There you are, guys. There's the interview, because I know he's got to head off to other places and stuff, and I figured that's what he was going to do. I think it was a great interview. Dan got a lot of information, and it was great. And see, Bongino's going to raffle that ball off for charity, and that's awesome too. So, all right, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in this morning for this interview between Dan Bongino and President Trump. And please don't forget to join us tonight, starting at 7 p.m. with the Rebel Chicks with a Cause. And let me see if I can find it here real quick. There it is. 7 p.m. Rebel Chicks with a Cause. Vic will be on there doing a great show. She puts on a lot of great stuff. You guys want to tune in. Join me at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right after her show. And we'll get down into it. We got a lot of stuff going on. I got tons of videos, tons of articles to go over. You guys will have a blast. We'll start off with laughs, then we'll get serious. But thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. And hopefully I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you at 9 o'clock. Have a great day, everyone.